हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू वावा एएस। वेलकम टू द डिस्कशन ऑन डेली एमसीक्यू। आज है 7 जुलाई 2021 और अब हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं आज के 5 करंट अफेयर बेस्ड एमसीक्यूज। नाउ लेट्स बिगिन। फर्स्ट लेट अस डिस्कस द क्वेश्चन दैट वाज आस्क्ड यस्टरडे। कल का क्वेश्चन था द बाग्राम एयरबेस विच वाज इन न्यूज रिसेंटली इज लोकेटेड इन विच कंट्री? द बाग्राम एयरबेस। सो सम ऑफ यू हैव गिवन द करेक्ट आंसर and yesterday it was Divya Vasisht and Subham Bashak who gave the correct answer. Now let's discuss this question. So Bagram Air Base, it was news because recently we know that the US is leaving Afghanistan. So US and the NATO forces, they have recently left the Afghanistan Bagram Air Base. So that's why this was news. So this Bagram Air Base is located in Afghanistan. Remember this. This is also very important from the examination point of view. Okay. So recently the US has pulled out, so that it's a signal, you can say, that it is pulling out completely from Afghanistan. So with regarding to the win against the Taliban, you can say US actually lost because the Taliban is again regaining power. And this Bagram, if you see this airbase is located next to an ancient city of Bagram. And after the US left this Bagram airbase, there were also news that a lot of people have actually went into the airbase just casually, and they have actually stolen a lot of pieces, or you can say a lot of important equipments that were left back by the US. Okay, so that's the thing about why it was in news and Bagram. Now let's begin the discussion. But guys, before discussing today's questions, a small information. Daily we are uploading the MCQs and their solutions in the PDF format, so you can download it from the Telegram channel whose details I've given in the description. So the first question, Satkosia George Sanctuary, sometimes seen in the news, is located in Satkosia George Sanctuary. A. Bihar, B. Assam, C. Odisha, and D. Kerala. So the Satkosia George Sanctuary is located in C. Odisha. It was in news recently because the recent death of Mugar crocodile in Odisha has raised concerns regarding the threat to the species in this Satkosia George Sanctuary. Because this Mugar crocodile, it's a medium-sized, broad-snouted crocodile which is native to freshwater habitats. This Mugar crocodile, it is covered under the Schedule 1 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So it enjoys very highest degree of protection. Since 1982, the species has been marked vulnerable according to the IUCN Red List. But if you see, now it's under threat. The Satkosia George Sanctuary, it is actually spread over several districts in Odisha, and it is spread over 795.52 square kilometers, spread across 4 districts. The Satkosia George Sanctuary, okay, it owes its name to the river Mahanadi. So you know, river Mahanadi flows into Bay of Bengal from Odisha. This Mahanadi has cut the Eastern Ghats, because as you know, the Eastern Ghats will be there to the east of India, and this river Mahanadi, it has cut through the Eastern Ghats, and a gorge was formed. Because a gorge is nothing but when a river cuts through a landform, a huge hole will be created, and isko hum gorge bolte hain. Okay, so a gorge was formed, and this is called as Satkosia Gorge. Okay. So this water body of Satkosia is a home to around 108 Mugars according to the 2021 census. So this is all the information that we need to know from the examination point of view. So now you know the Mahanadi flows into Bay of Bengal from Odisha 1, and the Satkosia Gorge is located in Odisha 2. The Mugar crocodile, it is actually given highest degree of protection according to the Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, but according to the IUCN Red List, it is considered as vulnerable. Right? The second question. The Solicitor General of India is the second highest law officer of the country. This is the first statement. Second statement, like the Attorney General of India, Solicitor General's office and duties are governed by the Constitution. So here we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. The first statement, if you see, Solicitor General is the second highest law officer in the country. This is right, because Attorney General is the highest law officer and Solicitor General is the second highest law officer. The second statement, if you see, like the Attorney General of India, Solicitor General's office and duties are governed by the Constitution. This is a wrong statement, because only the Attorney General's office is a constitutional body. But when we talk about Solicitor General or Additional Solicitor General, they are not constitutional bodies, because Constitution does not talk about these offices of Solicitor General and Additional Solicitor General. So they are not constitutional. So second statement is wrong. So A 1 only is the correct answer. So why this was in news recently? Because a delegation of Trinamool Congress MPs actually recently met President Ramnath Kovind and sought for the removal of Tushar Mehta as the Solicitor General of India on the grounds of criminal misconduct and gross impropriety following his meeting with BJP MLA Suvendu Adhikari. So as you know, there is a lot of issues going on between the Bengal government and the central government. So these things will come in news. So for us, the important thing is to look everything from the constitutional point of view. The Solicitor General is the second highest law officer in the country. He is subordinate to the Attorney General, as we already talked about, who is the highest law officer. And the Solicitor General also advises the government in legal matters. And the Solicitor General is appointed for a period of 3 years by the Appointment Committee of the Cabinet, which is chaired by the Prime Minister. And his offices, the Attorney General is described in Article 76. Article 76 talks about the office of Attorney General. Okay, so Solicitor General almost has all the rights what the Attorney General has. And another important thing what we need to know is the Solicitor General and Additional Solicitor General office and their duties, they are governed by the Law Officer Rules of 1987 and not by the Constitution. Okay, so they are only the statutory bodies, but the Attorney General body is a constitutional body. Now let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements. Auroras are caused when charged particles ejected from the sun's surface enter the Earth's atmosphere. Second one, in the northern part of our globe, the polar lights are called aurora australis, while in the south, they are called aurora borealis. Which of the following are correct statements? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. Here the correct answer is A 1 only, because the auroras are nothing but the charged particles when they enter into the Earth's surface and when they meet the ions. Okay, so sparks will be created and they will be seen as they will eject various colors which can be seen as auroras in the Earth's atmosphere. So generally we will be seeing these auroras in the northern and the southern hemispheres. And the northern hemisphere is called aurora borealis, not the southern hemisphere. And the southern hemisphere is called aurora australis. So the second statement is wrong. Okay. So as I told already, the aurora is when a charged particle ejected from the sun, which is known as the solar wind, it enters the Earth's surface and it reacts with the upper layers of the atmosphere. Because as you know, we have the layer called ionosphere, where a lot of charged particles will be there. So when the charged particles from the sun, ejected with the help of this wind, solar wind, come and meet the ionosphere, which has various charged particles, then they will be ejecting various colors. Okay. So recently the UAE's HOPE spacecraft, which is orbiting Mars since February. So remember, HOPE spacecraft belongs to UAE, HOPE UAE, and it is orbiting Mars. Remember this. Okay. It has captured images of glowing atmospheric lights at which is known as the discrete auroras. Okay. So while flying towards these auroras, actually they are actually very fast moving and they are carried with the help of sun's magnetic field, and this disrupts the magnetosphere of the Earth. Okay, so that's why they are actually very important, and studying of them is also very much important for us. Generally we will be seeing these auroras in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, and they are also known as northern lights as well, and are seen from US, Canada, Iceland, Greenland, Norway, Sweden and Finland. So only in the northern hemisphere. And also in the southern hemisphere, we can see it from countries like Antarctica, Chile, Argentina, New Zealand and Australia. Now let's move on to the next question. The fourth question. Neutron stars are formed when a massive star runs out of fuel and collapses. Second statement. Many neutron stars are likely undetectable because they simply do not emit enough radiation. So which of the following statements are correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. So if you see this first statement, neutron stars are formed when massive star runs out of fuel and and collapses. This is the right statement. So that is the basic definition of a neutron star. When we come to the second statement, many neutron stars are likely undetectable because they simply do not emit radiation. That is also right, because only when they emit radiation we will be able to see them, and also we will be able to feel their energy. But if they are not emitting anything, then we are not going to detect them, because even if we want to use various technologies, we don't have enough technologies to detect these things. So C both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. So recently a team of international scientists, including those from India, they confirmed the collisions between black hole and neutron star by analyzing the gravitational waves in January 2020. So scientists have detected the gravitational waves earlier in 2020 as a result of merger of two celestial bodies. Okay, so using these gravitational waves, you are able to detect whether merging is happening or if any new black hole is forming or something like that. So now it is found that these waves that were generated by the process of swallowing neutron star by the black hole. Okay, so that's why this is important. And the first merger involved a black hole about 9 times the mass of our sun and neutron star about 1.9 times the mass of our sun. So neutron star is basically a star which actually lost it, or you can say which ran out of fuel. Okay? So here some more information is given, you can just go through it. Okay? So now let's move on to the next question, the last question of the day. Which of the following phenomena might have influenced the evolution of organisms? First one, continental drift. Second one, glacial cycles. So we have to choose the correct answer. A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. So here if you see this question, the evolution of organisms. Okay, so here both continental drift and glacial cycle, they have influenced the evolution of organisms. So C, both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. C, both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. So the continental drift means, so we know earlier it is said that there used to be a huge continent which split into various continents again, which is called Pangaea and other things. So that's why the drifting, continental drift, that means the splitting of continents actually has helped, or you can say has led the evolution of various species. Okay, so the continental drift would mean some animals would be stuck to one continent, others on different with no chance of meeting and mating. So this is right. Second one, about glacial cycles, it is given that the glacial cycles would affect evolution, and as many would not be able to tolerate extreme cold and would be extinct, plus sea level rise due to glacier melt, because the glacial cycles means the melting of glacier and again resolidifying. This is called glacial cycle. So during this cycle, what will happen is there will be rise of sea level, and also there will be melting of ice, and also there will be resolidifying. So that means so what is happening is formation of ice and melting of ice is happening continuously. So during this time there will be various creatures who will be adapting themselves, because if they don't adapt to this climate like cold climate or a hot climate, when the glaciers melt, when they don't adapt, these animals are going to die. Okay, so even the glacial cycles has also affected the evolution. Okay, so now let's look at the question of the day. So recently the World Press Freedom Index was in news. So you have to tell me which organization releases this World Press Freedom Index. So do give your answer in the comment box. Tomorrow we are going to discuss this question in detail, right? So guys, these are our initiatives. We have launched PT 365 summary, Vision Mains Test Series summary, Vision Prelims Test Series summary, and Vision Monthly magazine. If you want any of these courses, you can visit our Telegram channel where we have given information regarding this. Okay, because our intention is simple, our aim is simple, to make preparation easy for you. So not to ease preparation for you, we have launched these initiatives. So make the best use of these initiatives and crack the exam with flying colors. So that's it for the day, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.